Just going to exit out of it right now and come back into our model. Another improvement that we've made with Envisioneer is in regards to the framing, and I'm just going to take a look at the framing involved in the house that we have here, and I'm going to take a look at it in our display mode here. I'm just going to double click on one of these front walls. I'm going to use some custom configurations of how I want to frame that particular wall, and this dialog box allows you to do it if you've never been in here before. So I can choose a style, and then I'm just going to right click and say I want to add a new wall infill configuration. And you can see here that we've now added the folder for blocking. So I'm just going to add blocking into the wall, or nogging, depending on where you're joining us in the world today. I know we've got people from all over joining us today. When you're adding in that blocking, we give you the flexibility that you can have as many levels as you want as well. So I can say the initial placement of that blocking is only at 2 feet, and then the spacing is going to be at every 4 feet, and it'll put those 2 levels of blocking in my 8-foot wall. You can also say that you want to stagger the blocking so that it's staggered, and if you don't want it staggered, you can also rotate it so that it's flat up against the wall as well on a 90-degree here. And you can see that you can even offset it off the wall. So if I want to bring it out a half an inch off the wall, I can do that as well and just have it come right out of the wall. So really a flexible tool, allowing you to have as many levels of blocking within a wall that you want, whatever orientation, and even having them staggered. So you can have more accurate framing diagrams now when you're using it. And you can see if I click OK here, this particular wall will have its blocking added into it as well. And you can see those levels of blocking in there. So just being able to have that blocking in the walls is a great new feature of Envisioneer. Speaking on about framing as well, we've made even just a more graphical solution to having the editing your intersections. It allows you to create and manage the intersections easier, so you can see it more graphically and edit them. Before it was not as graphical, so it was a little more difficult to understand the selections that you had. But you can go in there now and change those. And with this new intersection, it'll also allow you to have lapping of your very top plates. So you can have a continuous run of wall and lapping the distance of the top plates as well. So some great new features, and even framing within the new Envisioneer version 6 as well. I'm just going to turn off that framing mode and go back into our 2D view as well. So some great new features. First of all, we start off with that snap tracking, allowing you to line things up, the roof editing tools, the new framing enhancements that we've had, the quote generator, allowing you to generate a quote and add in your markup and update prices by SKU number, catalogs, just being able to go in and edit different elements and having a more graphical interface there as well. What I'm going to also show you is some other features within Envisioneer that we've added as well, as far as the sheet views. When you come into the sheet views, it's going to look exactly the same, but instead of just inserting a view, now we're inserting smart views. So we're going to define some smart views here. Brings us into this insert view dialog box where I'll say that I want to insert a ground floor plan, so I'll just insert that. And I can also insert onto that same sheet of paper if I wanted to some elevation. So I'll just pop in a front elevation as an example as well and put that right underneath. If I now go back out to my model and I make some modifications. So for example, I'm going to add in the front door and some windows. Because I've made those modifications on my model, I obviously want those to be reflective in my working drawings as well. Now in version 6, we can globally update all the views that we've made of our model so that they update to reflect what's happened. So I'm just going to go back up to Insert Smart Views, and you'll see we have Update Smart View Global. It allows me to pick which views of my model that I do want to update on my working drawing sheet. And then all I have to do is hit the Update button. It looks to my working drawings and it updates to reflect the changes that I've made in my model, which is quite helpful so you always can keep your model and your working drawing sheets in line. By double clicking on any of these different views, it allows you to go up and update them as well. And I can also go inside that view and change and delete lines out of there as well. So you can go within a view and you can update that view as well. So I can go into the contents of that view and update it and redefine it as well. So I can even edit that view, go inside, delete out any lines that I don't want to have, and then come back outside of that and have that all update for me. So quite a handy feature, being able to go inside your blocks and update them there as well. So that's all the new features within the Smart Views, being able to globally update and change them and have them updatable. While you're in our worksheet area as well, we've also made that you can redefine your blocks. So you can see over the side here I've got block. I can edit the block definition while I'm out here, so I can change the block and update it on the fly instead of having to explode apart the block and change this block. Now I can just edit its definition while I'm out here on this working drawing sheet. So just more easier access to those commands instead of having to go through step by step. Now you've got a quick access to being able to update that block itself as well. We've had some other fine-tuning that we've done to the software for different types of commands within Envisioneer as well. When we're inserting, the insert menu up here at the top has been added to the worksheet views so that you can have more speed and convenience. So it's got the insert the different views and then draw, modify, and tool. So we've added that new panel there as well so that you can insert and update those views quicker and easier as well. And back out in model view, now it's been a question before of I've put in something and I want to be able to recenter it. So I didn't put this in the exact center. Now that we have that snap tracking view tool, it allows you to realign elements so that you can center them again. So that'll be a handy feature instead of having to do that math work and type in those dimensions to get something centered. Now you can use that snap view, that snap tracking tool to help you recenter things in a room as well and along a wall. And as far as paths and in our landscape, now that when you start stretching the paths, you might have noticed in the path that they can follow along with your cursor. Now they are restricted and with the ortho.